Real news. Honest and fun political talk weekly on the line 90.7 FM. We are joined now with some friends on the other side of the pond who are going to give us their take on the British elections, where Boris Johnson and the Conservative Party swept the map. They got 365 seats. The Labour Party got 203, Scottish Nationalists 48, and the Lib Dems 11. Brexit Party and UKIP 0. And Jeremy Corbyn will be stepping down soon, and I think Brexit's going to finally happen. And this will, I think, foreshadow a Trump landslide in 2020. So, everyone who is with us, would you like to introduce yourselves, give a rundown of what you do, who you are, what your involvement in any of this is, or where you align, and we'll dive into it.
Hey, would you like to start, and I'll come in?
Yeah, sure.
I'm the leader of an organisation called Antifa Public Watch, and my aim is to dig every bit of dirt on the left and publicise it and show everybody what they're about. I expose the left-wing tactics and violence. We're based in Leeds, UK. That's about it. Yeah.
Sounds good. Who's next?
All right. Well, my name's Vinny Sullivan. Prolifically hated by the left. I've been everything from stabbed to, had everything taken from me by them. I run the Reality Report, which is grouped with Antifa Public Watch, and we're all about positive conservatism in a world which is very much collapsing. You see, we don't have the luxury of your amendments. We don't have your freedom of speech, and keeping an upper lip in such an environment is a very difficult task. So we're about asserting patriotic rights, the right to be proud of who you are, especially being British and white. It's something that's important, especially in a Western world which is suffering as a result of very, very unpleasant plans.
This guy, Lee Shears, he's not very good with, speaking, but he's actually a pretty important guy. He runs around with a lot of people and a lot of cameras, and they basically go out into these public events and they film everything that happens. So the people that are running around masked up and committing violence, he gets really close to them. I don't know if you noticed the logo he has, but it's very sneaky. So it kind of looks like it's a pro Antifa logo, and he gets in really close. And if you guys check him out,
explain Lee a little bit
he's got some amazing footage.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, give us a rundown of him.
This guy here, Vinny. Sorry, go ahead, Vinny.
Well, Lee is 1 in a million, and there's a reason that we found ourselves together. People which goes to places people only talk about going to.
Yeah.
And, I myself have encountered many of the left and encountered many situations which are dodgy and dangerous. And him and I share this one factor. If you Google our name, you'd think we was football hooligan, lunatic, harassing, abusing, complete psychopath, Nazi, whatevers. And I needn't tell the audience that anyone who's done that well to get hatred from the far left is doing something positive.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We got a lot of hatred when we brought Sargon here to Penn State, and it was only hatred from the right people, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, of course. But Lee is a legend. I mean, it's hard to summarize in a short time without boring everyone, but he is. But you'll have to go and see for yourself. I won't bore everyone.
Yeah, sure. I'm curious though. Did he get any footage of the Antifa protest the other night?
I hate politics as well. I hate politics. I can't do with it, which is weird, but yeah.
So So you hate politics, but do you feel like you're you're forced into it now?
No, well, how it started was Tommy Robinson had been sent to prison.
Yeah.
The first time when he was exposing the grooming gangs. Now, I attended a protest in Leeds because it was in my area. And when I attended there, there were loads of patriotic people, flags, everything. But on the other side of the road, there was a crowd of people, and it was stand up to racism, well-established organisations, with good reputations. But they was causing so much chaos, it was unreal. I mean, a police officer ended up getting a bottle thrown in her face and she was hospitalised.
Was that by the Antifa people?
Yeah, by the left.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next day in the newspaper, on the headline of the Yorkshire Evening Post, far-right Tommy Robinson thugs injure police officer and puts her in hospital. And I was like, hey, I was there. the right, these patriots never did such thing. But anyway, I took that on board and I attended another event, and it was the same again. So I just started a Facebook page, and the aim was to just find videos and articles exposing this behaviour. And the page just shot through the roof. On the streets, I go to the events, and I go to confront these Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
I got the blame for him for months. I got the blame for him. He was anonymous for ages. I got the blame.
Well, in all honesty, if I'd have been close to London, I would have attended there without it. In fact, I was gutted when I was seeing the footage that I wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? But that's the type of events that I would.
Mate, you know where it was? If I can't go there, you can't go there. The last 4 times I go there, I either get arrested or the police tell me I can't go there.
Wow.
If I go,
do they know who you are?
Holy
mate, know who I am.
Wow.
Yeah, mate. I get. Yeah. Oh, mate.
This is Vinny Sullivan of the Reality Report. He actually goes around with it used to honestly just be a group of people trying to engage in, open media, just trying to document things. For better or for worse, they're just there to document, film, and get the film out there, right?
Yeah.
But it became very quickly that they had enemies that didn't want to be filmed and didn't want them filmed, and eventually it just became that they wound up being more towards right-leaning because they just kept getting attacked. And eventually they found this Antifa group and a tip that they were going to commit terrorism in a parking lot.
Huh.
And this is where things get really crazy. There was somebody saying, hey, these guys are masking up. They've got weapons. There's like a whole bunch of, there's like several people actually got arrested in this skirmish. And basically what happened is they go there to basically ask them questions about their protest or what they're about to do or why they're there, if they're there to commit violence. And as soon as Vinny confronts them, they start attacking, masking up. A full parking lot brawl broke out. If you Google Battle of Seven Oaks, it'll probably come up pretty quick. Eventually, one of the Antifa members attempted to assassinate Vinny by stabbing him in the head.
Jesus.
And it's all on camera. They stabbed him in the head, and one side got masked up and clearly attacked. There was women and children being attacked, women's hair being ripped out, women being thrown to the ground. It's quite a violent scene. And the people that secured the peace are now in prison. A activist judge, in my opinion,
I believe the quote was, "We're going to make an example out of racists like you." Yeah.
Whoa.
In a hidden location in a village town, if you like. If you can imagine a village town, what England was like, that's what it was. Away from the dangerous places, away from everywhere. A genuinely hidden location in suits on a weekend. 40 men and women in balaclavas, stab-proof vests, ballistic gloves and weapons turn up in black on a sunny day in this village. Now, if you were a policeman and you saw 40 men in balaclavas, you'd think, Jesus Christ, bank robbers, terrorists, right? Get the guns out.
Yeah.
This needs to be treated seriously, not turn up and say, move along. They come well out of their way. So this is obviously conspiracy to violence, which carries a 10-year sentence in this country.
I had no clue this ever happened. I bet most of our listeners and viewers had no clue this happened. And what's always troubling, because I follow the Proud Boys thing a lot, it seems like, in my opinion, a lot of activist judges are just, they don't care. They're just locking people up because they think they're racist. They think they're Nazis, even though some of these Proud Boys were married in interracial marriages. And the Proud Boys are a multiracial group. And you see all this stuff happening. And then the cops either are not even existent, like at the scene of these things, even though everybody knows, like Antifa's going to show up to this. The cops here do not show up at all, or when they're there, they do nothing. Why do you think the cops just seem totally like,
Police are terrified. I honestly cannot explain. Americans do not understand how bad it is here and what it's like to not have actual freedom of speech. And our police, so the patriotism you have in many police departments, you have no idea how lucky you are to have it. Here, it's a different world. It's a different world.
Totally. I mean, they're totally against us as the police. I mean, I've seen a lot of footage in America, and the police are really steaming into these, you know, the Antifa there.
I've seen them come out with sirens, playing music. I've seen them, you know.
Yeah.
Here, I mean, I've been interviewing a few Antifa members, trying to speak to them, get answers out of them. And there's two officers stood at the side of me, and they're not watching for an attack. They're watching me. And soon as they feel it's ready, the time is right, they'll then step in, full meeting. I've been arrested 4 times in Leeds, my own town, for attending a protest, just to video it, and I've been arrested within minutes.
What?
Within minutes.
They knew who he was. On the video, you can see the officer knew who he was. He said his name.
I did find the video.
You can hear the police on the radio saying my name. I had to get out. It turned into Assassin's Creed in the end. I was in the crowd trying to get out. You know, they're on the radio going...
Didn't we check my footage before, didn't we? And you heard my name on radio as I walked past an officer.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and at this point, look, you start the game thinking, oh, I want to give people information. And the better you get it, you get so much information, you realize I can't use any of it because it's so spicy.
You should tell them about the cops in red that show up everywhere the special cops that show up when you guys are at the bar. Anytime you guys show up to try to film anything. They're a media organization, right? And they try to show up to engage in free press, and immediately the police know who they are, and they're not the normal cops. They're special police that come out of, like, what was it, red card? You can see this in some of the videos.
Yeah, I mean, the last protest I attended, I got surrounded by 5 police horses. I mean, I'm only 5'9", and I'm surrounded. I've got a body cam on. I've got my backpack. I've got my press card. You know.
So, because like I say, like you were kind of saying, well, we have the First Amendment. We don't really understand how bad the police are there. Can the police in your country literally just arrest you for anything they want? They don't have any, you know, restrictions where no unreasonable searches.
Section 5.
They can make
just throw Section 5 at you. Disorderly behaviour or breach of the peace. You even raise your voice.
And that's what they did to Tommy too. They said it was breach of the peace.
I mean, all they do for the Section 5 as well is take you to the police station. And you're in the waiting room 5 minutes and the charge sheet's already on the desk.
Wow.
No interview, no nothing. Thrown out of the police station, a 10 court, £180 fine. And all you've done is raise your voice.
Wow. So what do you guys then do to get around this, to, you know, confront Antifa, to confront these groups without violence, obviously, but to sort of, like, how do you get around this? Like, how do you have, you know, protests? How do you make your voices heard?
I just ensure that I've always got camera recording, and whatever happens, no matter what, as long as I've got that on video, that's all that matters. I mean, 2 of the 4 times I've been arrested, 2 of the times I've had charges thrown on me, like assault police officer, criminal damage, you know what I mean? And because I've had the camera recording, you know, they've been dropped before they've even gone to court. But nothing will stop me. I'll still go. I see, if I get arrested within minutes, I see that as progress, because it might not show the Antifa, but it's showing the establishment, the police, the corruptness of it. You know, so I get success either way.
How much do you think the average, like, Brit knows about this stuff, is upset with it, and, you know, wants an end to it? Is this just sort of something that's only happening in, like, the political circles know about, or do the average people, like, know that this stuff happens and are pissed off about it?
I think the average person knows it happens, but they don't know how deep it is, how bad it is. You know, I didn't even know that how desperate the police are when you attend these events. They just want rid of you. They will do anything to get rid of you.
Depends on your power levels. It depends on how much you know.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, I kind of know the answer to this, but it seems like you guys said, they kind of know who you are and all these sort of things. How do they? Like, do they have like a list? Do they go around, like, do all the officers know who the people on the right
No,
that are going to show up are?
I think the shoe on the other foot test kind of shows it all. I mean, imagine Chris Cuomo hears that there's going to be a riot, that a group has basically stated that they're going to mask up and oppose, quote unquote, and they're masking up to go do something. Chris Cuomo gets a scoop. He goes there. He turns on his camera, and then he sees from across the room the cop saying, coming just beelining straight for him and nobody else but him. They've just stepped out of a car. They're there specifically for him, and they're there to ask him questions, and he's got to duck them. I mean, that's basically the state of free press in this country. It's ridiculous. It would never happen.
Jeez. This stuff is hard for some, like you guys saying, it's Americans to conceptualize, because we don't have it this bad. Like, I have so much sympathy for you guys.
With the press as well, there's straight bias, because when the two protests that I attended when I wasn't running this organisation, the right was constantly pointing out left-wing photographers, constantly coming around the protest and taking photographs of the Patriots. And then they put these photographs online, and then they expose them. Some of the Patriots lose their jobs, lose their home, they get shamed and everything. So when they're getting pointed out, the police, their answer to it was, well, they're press. It's a public place. They're allowed to do this. But as soon as we're going to do the same thing to the left, there's a problem. That's when we're either arrested, sent away, or whatever. We cannot go near them, and that's exactly how it is.
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask these guys at Dictator Phil?
I feel like you answered a lot of what I was thanks thanks Sean for introducing me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I did a great job
nice
at that.
You did a fantastic job. I just want to let you know. No,
Funny, if Corbyn was in power, people like myself or Lee, we wouldn't know what would be our future. That virtually they could treat us. I don't even want to talk about it, because you never know when they could come into power, and anyone who's done the things we've done could suddenly be considered worth kicking their doors in and putting them in prison for nothing.
Yeah,
They're not
people like us will be targeted straight away, immediately.
I do gotta. You know what? I'm really sorry. I do have a question. So guns are banned. Yes.
Yeah.
Knives are banned. Yes. Within some like craziness.
If you're
right?
using it for butter.
Yeah.
You can own a gun. You can own a gun here. It's just tighter licensing. You can own a gun there.
Yeah, you gotta get a permit, right? A license.
It's got to a point now. It's got to a point now where if somebody burgles your house in the UK and you give that person a beating, you're getting a charge.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You are getting a charge. And it doesn't matter if you was in bed being woken up by this burglar or whoever. If you give this person a beating,